Ah, yeah, the 1960s, when anime was just starting to form. But one of them stood out, and that one was Speed Racer. Speed Racer, also known as in Japanese Mach Go Go Go, is a Japanese media franchise about automobile racing, forming around the name Speed Racer. Speed, as we all know in the show, is a racer, and he races after his deceased brother. Now, there's not much to tell, but this show is crazy. Let me tell you, it's nothing to compare to Initial D. Now, I actually used to watch this show when I was little. All I remember was some couple characters like a chimp and Sparky and Spriddle, I think, and Trixie. Now, I remember him liking Trixie, I think, or she would always go with him. I'm not really familiar with the show too much, but I remember watching the movie back in 2008. The movie was really good, and it just some reason reminds me of Initial D in some form, just more futuristic. And we'll get into the show and Initial D in just a few moments, and we're going to talk about which one is probably on the top, more so than one another. Stay tuned. Well, since there ain't much on anime gifs of the original TV show, I went ahead and threw in some movie gifs. This show is actually pretty interesting, to say the least. Never thought it was an anime. I actually thought it was a Western anime, or some kind of anime or something. The show's actually cool. It's about speed, and he races at the beginning of the first episode, and his dad creates a new type of car called the Mach 5 as it hits through different gears and everything else, and has a bunch of cool, neat gadgets built into it. And actually, it's pretty cool, to say the least, as they were on a bike chase, and they got away with using some of the features, I believe. The show is pretty cool. Watch the first 2.5 episodes because there are not many episodes on YouTube. The show's actually very underrated, and there's not much of a fan base for it anymore, and it's kind of sad. This show is kind of reminded me of Initial D so much, but more of a F1 type of series instead of going downhill and doing other things like drifting and stuff. It was mainly focused on, straight flat ground racing. Now, excuse me, if Speed were to go against Takumi, by chance, I believe Speed would probably win over Takumi just because of the gadgets. Now, I think Speed in the show relies on the gadgets way more so than actual driving technique. As far as technique, I think Takumi Fujiwara has beaten him on that part. As far as character goes, I like both characters in the show. Honestly, I like the portrayal of a Need for Speedy type guy, and I like the portrayal of a guy who doesn't know anything about cars. I like the exception though of Initial D's character, Takumi Fujiwara, more so than Speed from Speed Racer. The reason why is because Takumi grows to love this car, and it's cool to see him evolutionize into this badass street racer that knows how to take corners naturally without even learning or not even realizing what he's doing, more so than Speed already knowing how to drive and being taught and everything else. Now, as far as the plot and everything else, I like the characters on both sides, like I said. I like Eat Ski. It kind of reminds me of Sparky on Speed Racer, or maybe a Spriddle a little bit. But besides that, I like characters on both shows. They both have good heart, and I love the personality of all the characters. Now, for the plot goes, you got one about a kid who delivers tofu every 4 o'clock in the morning, and eventually wants to become the #1 downhill specialist. And on the other hand, you got a guy who loves racing out of his heart and wants to race because of his family's into racing and keeps it in the bloodline, and to do that he has to stop hitmen and all these people trying to get the secret encryptions of blueprints for his Mach 5 engine and tune-up and stuff. So he wants to become, on top as well. You gotta remember, Speed Racer is a devil. He literally is. He's a speed demon. He will knock you off the road if you are not moving out of his way. Same way with Takumi in a way. So Takumi does it in a more pleasurable, more kind way. More so than Speed Racer doesn't think twice and hits you off the road either way. So, as far as aggressiveness and the plot, I kind of like both. I give it to both of them. They're both aggressive and they got good plots. I honestly love both of them. If you were bored in the house and you got nothing to do, I'd watch Initial D first and then Speed Racer. But both of them are good plots, so I have to give them both points for that. Alright, I know that there's more than one Initial D movie, so we're not going to talk about the OVAs, we're talking about the live action movies. As far as the live action movies go, I'm going to say that Speed Racer is the most awesomeness as far as live action anime movie. Initial D was cool. It lacked characters, it lacked quality, it lacked English for one. And it was kind of lame. I mean, halfway through the movie I kind of got bored of it. And honestly, if I were to watch one of these over again, I'd probably pick Speed Racer because how colorful and nostalgic it is, and Initial D just didn't leave a mark on my brain to remember anything from. Well, as far as each show goes, I think Initial D has the best music soundtrack ever. As far as Speed Racer doesn't really have any kind of soundtrack ever. There's only one song that I found on the movie that sounds pretty cool, but it ain't gonna make up for the music that Initial D has. But I'm gonna go ahead and play one of the songs that I'm into right now that's on Initial D. So hopefully you enjoy, and then I'm gonna play a song from the Speed Racer movie. Here comes Speed Racer. He's a demon on wheels. He's a demon and he's gonna be chasing after someone.
If you're in a predicament, hacia quien sea. Luz verde, rápido acelero. El momento se pone intenso. La goma como quema, sin ala pero mira cómo vuela. Desde el principio lo que pienso es ganar. Nada puede pasar, riding in the Mach 5.
He's up and flying as he guns a car around the track. He's sailing down the bottom like he's never coming back. Adventures maybe just ahead. Go speed racer, go speed racer, go speed racer, go. Go speed racer, go speed racer, go speed racer, go. Go speed racer, go speed racer, go speed racer, go. Go speed racer, go speed racer, go speed racer, go.
Settle the score, rubber fire screams into the night. Crash and burn is what you're gonna do. I am the master of the asphalt fight. They all said I'd best give it up. What a fool to believe their lies. Now they've fallen, I'm at the top. Are you ready now to die? I came out from the bottom and into the top. For the first time I feel alive. I can fly like an eagle, strike like a hawk. Do you think you can survive? I came out from the bottom and into the top. For the first time I feel alive. I can fly like an eagle, strike like a hawk. Do you think you can survive? The top.
What were you thinking telling me to change my game? This style wasn't going anywhere. It was kaput. Don't you see what I've done with this place? With this whole thing? Don't you see that I've changed the game? No, I am the game. Before I knew where this was going, I would've listened to you. Right now I distance myself from whatever you have to say. I made this something way bigger than you were ever gonna be. I made it this far, and I'm taking it to the top.
I came out from the bottom and into the top. For the first time I feel alive. I can fly like an eagle, strike like a hawk. Do you think you can survive? I came out from the bottom and into the top. For the first time I feel alive. I can fly like an eagle, strike like a hawk. Do you think you can survive? The top. from the bottom and into the top. For the first time I feel alive. I can fly like an eagle, strike like a hawk. Do you think you can survive? I can run from the bottom and into the top. For the first time I feel alive. I can fly like an eagle, strike like a hawk. Do you think you can survive? The top.
Now, my personal takes on both shows are about the same. I think they both have a good sense of speed, a good plot, good music, and overall just both good books and shows and movies. If you ever have a chance, watch both of them. Or, if you have an opinion, write it down in the comment section below and tell me what you think is better. Thanks for watching, and peace out.